banned from all that land. He can't even come here. All that land right there. I was like, to the detectives, I was like, so what's the most can he do? Just stop for gas for more than 10 minutes. You know, and the police could check his gas to see how much is in there, and see if he's actually planning his trip. And just press click, yeah, so banned. He's banned, he can't even come around here. Because I told him that he threatened to kill my family and going after them. And there's something else I was going to say. Yeah, he threatened to kill my family and going after them, and then 2 of them recently got killed through fentanyl overdose. So that's another one, how they're killing our girls through fentanyl, and they get us pregnant. Some girls actually have kids with their pimps, and then the pimp will give the kid to the grandmother, and then they're like, oh, you can't see your fucking kid until you pay me $2,000. So these girls are working their asses off, literally, just so they can see their kids, you know, or they're getting them high on fentanyl. There's this one girl down in Toronto, they were getting overdosing her on fentanyl, and then they give her Noxalone, bring her back, they do it again to her, overdose her, give her Noxalone again, they get it so much that she wouldn't even come back. And that's another killer. That's like the pimps are using drugs to lure girls in and get them addicted, you know, because they're the ones that can get that. Or you could risk your life and go to another dealer who laced it with carfentanil, and just that one hit will just kill you, you know. And then if you're overdosing on that, you only got so much time until your brain's dead, you know. And then strangulation and all those stuff that they do to us, that gives us something to forget too, by strangling us and stuff. I've been strangled, I've been lifted right off my feet, and it affects the cords in your neck. Makes your voice change. You get neck problems all the time. I have that. I always have constant neck pain. And then your uterus, you get aches and cramps there all the time. And trauma, you know, our body remembers the score. I think there's a book on that. And it's a really good read. I keep hearing that. And I get those memories. I'll get pains there and stuff like that. One of my healers, that's my victim impact, go ahead, read it, said that he asked me, he's like, were you in a wreck, like a train wreck or some kind of wreck? I was like, no. And I'm sitting there for like 15 minutes quiet thinking, I'm like, what is it? We're looking at each other. I was like, oh, I was trafficked though, and I went through all this stuff. I was like, the pimp used to beat me up all the time. And he's like, well, that's equivalent to being in a train wreck, all that stuff that you went through. And that's the collateral damage on our body that we'll have forever. It's not going to go away. You know, we're always going to be healing from it no matter what. I don't even think there's a day that you'll actually be healed. I can't say I'm healed because I'll always be healing forever and ever and ever. And just taking that one step at a time every day towards that is all it takes. Next slide. So there's the trial that I went through. I couldn't let him get away with it. I just couldn't. I came back home in 2012, I seen Willard again, and I told him, I was like, this guy's beating me up and making me have sex with guys and he's taking my money. I was like, but I want to make him pay, I can't let him get away with that. He's like, oh yeah, you'll make him pay. He's like, but there's teachings behind that, that's what he said. So, I went through the pre-trial, the trial, Superior Court trial, and then human trafficking charges are only provincial, so I had to work with the detectives, and I knew where one of his guns were, and that was from that car that was in the impoundment from the bullets. They were scared to go get that car because they were afraid that gun. They found the gun and they pinched them there. So I knew where it was. I knew they didn't get pinched because I called the detectives and I was like, oh, I know where one of his guns is. Will you guys make federal charges after? And then go get him out in Surrey, because I know where he is. You'll catch him speeding down there. So I sent them word to get the gun, and they got it. And then they make a Canada-wide warrant. So I was able to work with the cops like that and get a Canada-wide warrant. So when girls want to pursue justice, it's important that they could rack up all those charges till it does become federal at some point. And yeah, so it took me about almost 5 years. Testified 10 days in chief. And I was 8 months pregnant, waddling like a duck, and I was so tired, and I just wanted to sleep, and I was just so exhausted. But While testifying, I was holding my eagle feather. I didn't swear on oath or anything like that. And then I take my breaks. I'd sit there and think, sometimes a half an hour. And I'd piss off his lawyer. She'd try to continue on again. The judge was like, she's not done yet, yelling at her. So it's good to know you can take your breaks. And then the communities can write their victim impact statement too. Native Women's Resource Center, Toronto did mine. And yeah, it was pretty crazy how they can go after you and test you and try to make you look like a witch and stuff. And that pimp was scared of the spirits. And I knew that from the couple nights I spent with him, because something tickled his toes. And he jumped out of bed and grabbing those lamps like AK-47 looking around. So I knew how to scare the shit out of him. And I said, when I was at that house on Lawton where the attack happened, I said, oh, spirits are in the house. He starts burning frankincense, and I was like, that stuff's not going to work. And so he fucked off for a few days. He'd get really scared. And he knew that I was native and I could see spirits, and they could tell when people are going to die. And he didn't fuck with me when it came to that. So here's his lawyer bringing up all that stuff, trying to make me look like a Looney Tune. I was like, oh man, come on, Great Spirit, I came this far already, don't show me up now. So the thunder beings came and just let a big one rip and just shook the whole courthouse. Knocked the power right out, and the microphones were like the sound of a thunderbird screeching. Everyone's going, my ears, covering their ears. I said, yes, the thunder beings are here. Didn't show me up, and then the judge, he looks at me. He said, the spirits, 15-minute recess, and he went flying out the room. And then he gave them shit for trying to make me look like a witch, and ruled that we are spiritual people because of what just happened right before our eyes, right at the court. And then after I left that day, there's a great big rainbow there, and that was pretty cool. You know, I called. These are all the charters and stuff like that. You guys can go through them. And then I called Willard in 2020. I had to move out to Nova Scotia because the pimp got out of jail, and he's living 0.8 miles away from me. And I was so scared. I started getting fevers over 40. And getting really scared and calling the cops. I put my husband in jail twice because I thought it was him. You know, I didn't see him. I seen the guy's face. And I was like, you gotta get the hell out of here, man. And the cops charged him. I was like, fuck, I need this guy. He's protecting me. Now he's gone. And I had me and Bridget Carrier, we passed the Bill 96, the Anti-Human Trafficking Awareness Day, which is today. And last year, I emailed every senator, and they made it a national day for the Canada-wide. And yeah, today's Anti-Human Trafficking Awareness Day. You can look it up, look at the debate on OLA.ca, the Ontario Legislative Assembly. And we marched right in there. I was pregnant again. We got that bill passed, and girls, if they don't want to get justice, they can just get the restraining order within a few hours through Kelly Bailey. And you can seek restitution too. So that's another thing. Not all women's and people's justice looks the same like mine. Some of them, they want to go get degrees, and that's their justice, so they can do something different, and that's okay, you know. And that's something I had to accept too. Not all the girls want to go after them, and that's fine, because our justice does look the same. Doesn't look the same. So I started earning my bundle while doing this work. One thing led to another, and now I got a whole bundle. I got my pipe. I got it in 2018 and honored a knowledge carrier by Karen Bell. And these are stuff that natives would have for their healing bundle, and they put anything special to you in there. And I had to earn my bundle through this work, and I'd like to see our kids just having those bundles without having to go through all this stuff to get that, and having those healing lodges out there and stuff. I've tried all kinds of cultures and religions to try to escape from the game. I'm like, Fred, what am I not doing? I was like, oh my God, I never tried my own culture yet. So I just started going at it. I started sweat lodging, shaking tent. I got my pipe from shaking tent. I got my crown, my drum from the crown attorney. I got my rattle from a professor. And yeah, man, it feels so good to have that and be able to have that freedom and that culture. And be sovereign and stick up for herself. And I love this photo because that's her Turtle Island story and her first woman that was lowered down. And that's my other name, Akikwe. And I looked at my Google Maps there. I was telling Tia that you could see how far you travel in 1 year, and sometimes I go 5.5 times. I was like, well, that's why I'm Rich Woman. And yeah, just being out there on the land is so healing. I'm not scared to walk downtown Toronto in the hood at all. When I go out there in the bush, I'm like, oh, there's a wolf! I start running inside. There's a little pug that scared the shit out of me, and I went inside and said, I'm out of here. And I'm still building that connection with Mother Earth and figuring out how to sustain myself off the land. And these are lots of the stuff that I use on the healing journey. Past the Courage, that's for men and women. It's down in Demersville by Belleville. And it's a week-long sexual assault retreat. I highly recommend that. It's beautiful. And you just do stuff out on the land, and they have a big mansion out there, and they have a really fancy chef there, so you'll be eating good and sleeping good. And there's all kind of activities you can do out there. They have a big hydro pole up there that they do trust lessons with, so you get all harnessed up, and the girls that are on the ground that are the ones holding your rope so that you don't fall.